The divine names that transform hearts. Virtues of reciting the last 3 verses of Surah Al-Hashr 100 times daily. In a world crowded with noise and spiritual distractions, where hearts are restless and the soul is weighed down by worldly attachments, Allah has gifted the believers with a profound set of verses that act as a spiritual ladder to ascension. Ayat al-Tasbih, the last 3 verses of Surah Al-Hashr, 59:22-24. These verses are not merely poetic or theological declarations. They're divine medicines for the heart, containing the treasures of Asma'ul Husna, the beautiful names of Allah, serving as a key to unlock closeness to Allah and purification of the soul. He is Allah, besides whom there is no deity, knower of the unseen and the witnessed. He is the most merciful, the especially merciful. Al-Hashr 59:22. He is Allah, besides whom there is no deity, the sovereign, the pure, the perfection, the bestower of faith, the overseer, the almighty, the compeller, the supreme. Exalted is Allah above whatever they associate with him. Al-Hashr 59:23. He is Allah, the creator, the inventor, the fashioner. To him belong the best names. Whatever is in the heavens and earth is exalting him, and he is the exalted in might, the wise. Al-Hashr 59:24. These majestic verses are a gateway to understanding Allah's essence. When recited with sincerity, especially 100 times a day, they become a fountain of mercy and protection for the believer. Let's delve into the virtues, benefits, and wisdoms of these ayat, along with insights from hadith, scholars, and spiritual traditions. The unique station of Surah Al-Hashr's ending. These last 3 verses are among the most comprehensive declarations of Tawheed, oneness of Allah, in the Quran. They emphasize not only his uniqueness in worship, but also his sovereignty, mercy, power, knowledge, and creative authority. According to Imam al-Qurtubi in his tafsir, these verses are a summation of Allah's relationship to the universe as creator, sustainer, and sole deity. Every attribute mentioned reflects a door through which the believer may draw closer to him. Virtue in the hadith, a daily shield of light. A narration recorded in Musnad Ahmad, Hadith 22342, authenticated by Sheikh Al-Albani, says, "Whoever recites the last 3 verses of Surah Al-Hashr in the morning, 70,000 angels are appointed to pray for him until the evening, and if he dies during that day, he dies as a martyr. And whoever recites them in the evening, the same applies." Musnad Ahmad, graded Hasan by Al-Albani in Sahih al-Jami. Subhanallah, let's break down the beauty of this hadith. 70,000 angels are sent just for you, imploring forgiveness and mercy. This blessing lasts from morning to evening or vice versa, an entire day's protection. If death occurs in that period, the reward is martyrdom, shaheed, the highest of stations in the hereafter. The spiritual power of 100 recitations. While the hadith mentions the immense blessings of reciting it once in the morning and once in the evening, many scholars and spiritual masters have advised reciting them 100 times daily to unlock even greater spiritual elevation. According to Imam Abu Hamid al-Ghazali in Ihya Ulum al-Din, regular dhikr with Asma'ul Husna polishes the heart. He suggests repeating the names of Allah frequently to internalize their meanings and allow the attributes of Allah to manifest in our character. The last 3 verses of Surah Al-Hashr include over 15 of Allah's names. Reciting them 100 times reinforces submission to Allah, strengthens trust, tawakkul, purifies the nafs, ego, invites barakah, divine blessings, into one's life, psychological and emotional healing. Modern studies show that repetition of divine phrases, especially when they involve positive, majestic, and peaceful meanings, can calm a nervous system, regulate the heart rate, and improve emotional well-being. The divine names included in these verses, like As-Salam, the source of peace, Al-Mu'min, the giver of faith and security, and Ar-Rahman, the entirely merciful, offer spiritual tranquility and emotional healing. When repeated 100 times with presence and humility, fear dissolves as you remember that Al-Muhaymin, the guardian, is watching over you. Anxiety fades as you affirm that Al-Hakim, the all-wise, is managing your affairs. Loneliness disappears, knowing that Ar-Rahim, the especially merciful, is always near. Connection to the angels and the throne. The fact that angels are appointed to the one who recites these verses links the reciter with the celestial realm. According to Tafsir Ibn Kathir, the heavens and earth already glorify Allah constantly, and when a human joins this glorification consciously through these ayat, it becomes a cosmic harmony, a song of submission that resonates with the universe. Also, note the presence of Al-Malik, the king, in the verse, a name of Allah tied directly to his throne, Arsh. Repeating these verses places the servant under the shade of the divine kingdom. Barakah in provision, protection from enemies. Classical scholars have narrated in various tafsir traditions that consistent recitation of the last verses of Surah Al-Hashr brings expansion of rizq, sustenance, protection from unseen evils, jinn, and magic, removal of spiritual veils, and increased basira, inner sight, victory over one's enemies, especially the internal enemy, the ego. This is in line with the broader Quranic message. Verily, in the remembrance of Allah do hearts find rest. Surah Al-Hashr 13:28. Inspired lives, stories from the righteous. Among the stories that reflect this verse's power is that of Ibn Taymiyyah, the great scholar of Islam, who is known to spend hours in dhikr, especially repeating verses with Allah's names. He said, I would sit after far and remember Allah until midday, and I found this time more precious than gold. It was my food and nourishment. Another story is narrated of a Moroccan saint, Sidi Ahmad Zarruq, who said, the one who recites the names of Allah daily will see doors open before him, which no man can explain, except those who taste. Practical way to recite a daily routine. To establish this beneficial habit, set aside 15 to 20 minutes daily after Far or Maghrib. Recite the last 3 verses of Surah Al-Hashr 100 times. Reflect on each name, pause, understand, feel. Make dua afterward, asking Allah by his beautiful names. A recommended dua format is, Ya Allah, you are Al-Malik. Make me content with what you decree. Ya Salam, bless me with inner peace. Ya Mu'min, remove my fears. Ya Jabbar, fix what is broken in my life. The doors of divine intimacy. The last verses of Surah Al-Hashr are not just recitations, they are spiritual journeys. To repeat them 100 times daily is to ascend, name by name, into nearness to Allah. With each repetition, one comes closer to becoming an Abd al-Rahman, a true servant of the most merciful. Allah in Surah Al-Hashr by saying, Yusabihu lahu ma fis samawati wal ard. Everything in the heavens and earth glorifies him. What an honor it is that we can join this celestial chorus. Reciting these verses is to join the worship of angels, stars, trees, birds, and winds. It is to find your place in the divine symphony of praise. Let this be your daily dhikr. Let this be your shield. Let this be your bridge to Allah's love. If these verses have touched your heart, start today. Commit to reciting them 100 times daily. Witness how your life begins to transform, how fear is replaced with trust and despair with light. For more spiritual reminders, guided dhikr sessions, and inspiring Islamic stories, follow our YouTube channel, Deeninminute. Let your soul rise, one verse at a time. Pushpin SEO title.